सगळे आमचे CCR TV पळयणाऱ्यांक माय मोगाचो येवकार. To all our CCR TV viewers, a warm welcome. Of late, maybe a month or so, there are serious concerns affecting thousands of Goans over the revocation of Indian passport among those having Portuguese bilhete de identidade or assento do nascimento. To make matters worse, there are further concerns concerning the denial of OCI, that's Overseas Citizen of India, for those who possess the Indian passports, but they have been revoked. The nationality of assento holders is in question, and citizens could be officially termed as stateless unless they possess a Portuguese passport or citizenship card. As per the Indian Passport Act of 1967, those acquiring foreign citizenship should voluntarily renounce their Indian passport within 3 months of obtaining foreign citizenship. They must also obtain a surrender certificate from the regional passport office to maintain a connection with India through visas and OCI status. The controversy was kicked up after the passport officer in Goa revoked the Indian passports of some 70 odd Goans, or maybe even more, who had registered their births with authorities in Lisbon, Portugal. The issue now involves two ministries, Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of External Affairs. The issue has already been flagged with the Government of India, with Goan Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Sadhanand Shet Thanawade addressing it in the Parliament. The NRI Commissioner in Goa, Narendra Savaikar, said that the state government will consistently follow up the issue with the Ministry of External Affairs. Worse comes to worse, there could be nearly 3 lakh Goans who could be affected with this type of ruling. What is the actual program? What is the progress? What is this letter that or order from the court from Kerala that has triggered all these problems? There's none other than a legal Goan luminary, well-known figure in the circle in Goa, was and is now a famous lawyer, and was also a member of the Legislative Assembly in 1992, and he is known for very independent, judicious views on most of the matter affecting Goa and Goans, and was also the vice president, the senior vice president of the United Goans Democratic Party, people know as UGDP. A writer also in his own right, and his latest novel, A Shortcut to Tipperary, is now in the 4th print. So you can very well imagine the demand for it, simply because it is one of the most outstanding novels that we have. And of late, he has reduced his work in the courts as a lawyer, and I think he has deviated into writing, and now he is penning his book of essays. Advocate Radharao, Gracias, welcome. My mogaso yo kartuka. To problem आता किती आहा तो passport Portuguese assent billet आणि revocation passport OCI मेवना. Let us go right from the start and the beginning. तुका सगळी बरी खबर आहा. तर आमकां सांगशी हे कितें कशें जालां आनी अल्टिमेटली तुका कितें दिसता हो प्रॉब्लेम कसो सुटका जातलो. होच प्रॉब्लेम जेन्ना कायतुलो प्रॉब्लेम आहलो होच प्रॉब्लेम जाल्लो, मागीर इजदोराचोय तोच प्रॉब्लेम जालो, आनी आतां एक मिनिस्टर पळय BJP गव्हर्मेंटान आहा ताकाय म्हणटा ते तोच प्रॉब्लेम आहा म्हण. तर तुजें म्हणणी हाजेर कितें?
See, Jovit, I think we'll first go into the issue of registration or transcription of births in brief,
yes,
and then come into this issue,
yes,
so that everybody knows what the issues are. Now, You see, Goa is a unique case in the sense that we were not part of the Republic of India when it was formed in 1947. So, we came to be part of India in December 1961. Now, following that, in March 1962, by the citizenship order dated 28th of March 1962, Indian citizenship was conferred on all of us, and conferred on those who were born in Goa prior to 1961, December 1961, or whose parents or grandparents were born in Goa. That means 3 generations automatically became Indian citizens. And there was also a proviso there that those who did not wish to obtain Indian citizenship could opt out of it by putting in writing within 30 days. So, otherwise all of us became Indian citizens.
Yeah, and if I could interrupt you, there was only one case, I think so, Father Sheikh Monteiro,
yeah,
who said, I was born as a Portuguese, I continue to be a Portuguese. Yes. Then the
went after the
barristers
Supreme Court,
yes,
and all
that.
Meta finally went ahead, finished.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what happens here now? The issue therefore is whether Goans are in a unique position, and my interpretation has always been that we Goans are on a different footing altogether. You see, the Portuguese under their law recognize all those who are born in Goa prior to 1961, prior to the date of liberation, and their parents or grandparents as citizens of Portugal. They still recognize us. So, now there are 2 countries which recognize us as their citizens. One is Portugal, one is India. So, what Goans do now, we merely transcribe our births in Portugal. Those of us who were born prior to December 61, we transcribe our births in the Portuguese Central Registry, not register. There is a difference. Now, registration means once you are born, your birth is registered, and there can be only one registration. Your birth cannot be registered twice. Now, to make it more clear, you see, there are many Goans or Indians who are born abroad, and their births are registered in the place of their birth, whether in America or Portugal, Europe, wherever. When the people return back, they bring their birth certificates, and under our law, registration of births here, those births are transcribed in Goa.
Yes.
So, as a result, now our birth will be found registered in the place of birth. Say, if it is United States, in United States, it is transcribed here. So, we have our births available in 2 places.
Even Goans who were residing, say, in Mumbai prior to 61, they were born much before 61. Parents were Goans, but they were born in, let us say, Mumbai. Their parents would transcribe this certificate
in those days.
In Goa. So, this transcription was there right from the days gone by.
See, it is allowed for citizens only. If I am an Indian citizen, I can transcribe my children's birth here no matter where they are born.
Yes.
It is not available for outsiders to transcribe their births here. So, now what Goans do, since Portugal recognizes us as their citizens, we merely transcribe our births there. Now, that is where Article 9 of the Constitution comes into play. Now, Article 9 of the Constitution says, whoever voluntarily acquires the citizenship of another country shall lose Indian citizenship. So, according to me, the difference is we do not voluntarily acquire. Now, Portugal, anyone can acquire Portuguese citizenship. Neither you nor even someone from Karnataka can apply for and acquire Portuguese citizenship under their law. But that is by a process called naturalization. Any person can apply. If you satisfy the law, they grant you by naturalization. That would tantamount to acquisition. Now, in our case, we do not do anything there to acquire. We do not seek Portuguese citizenship. We do not apply for Portuguese citizenship. All that happens is they recognize us as their citizens. And therefore, our birth is transcribed there.
But I think the problem also got little bit mixed up when the Portuguese government said that registration of this, they are considered as Portuguese. They talked about being registered in Portugal. They should have been alert to say that transcribed does not apply for registration. So, the Portuguese people also could have clarified. Even now, I think they could clarify to say that normally if you are registered, but these are cases where they are not registered, they are transcribed, and the problem is sorted out.
No, the problem does not sort out. See, what happens is the Portuguese government will only concern with itself, its own processes.
Yes.
It cannot say what is the law in Goa or what should be done in India. It is not for them to advise. All that they are saying is our citizens wherever they are born, wherever, even Goa or they are born in Brazil or in Pakistan for that matter, they can transcribe their births in Pakistan, in Lisbon, provided their parents or grandparents were.
No, what I am trying to say is that they sent a letter to the ministry.
No. What the Portuguese have said is that these are our citizens. Whether they are your citizens or not, you decide as per your law.
Okay.
See, the Portugal has dual citizenship. So they are not concerned with whether a Portuguese national is a citizen of another country. You understand, no? So if asked, the Portuguese government would say, yes, he is my citizen, our citizen. Now, whether the government of India accepts that is by operation of our law.
Could they also, to make matters easy for Goans, say that the people of Goa have this liberty of getting it transcribed?
No, the whole problem is the Portuguese government may not be interested in making things easy for Goans, because they consider them as Portuguese, no. You see, whether we get Indian nationality or not is not a concern of the Portuguese government. So they are not bound to,
okay,
or they are not likely to create problems for India government.
Okay.
So it is interpretation of our law.
Of the
Indian law. So
it's your Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of External Affairs.
So you see, until very recently, the interpretation was that mere transcription of birth in Portugal did not take away your Indian citizenship. It was so. So no one bothered.
Yeah.
Even in the case of Glenn Ticklow or Kaitu. Oh, the status finally was that their merely birth is transcribed in Portugal, and therefore they do not lose Indian citizenship. Now suddenly the passport officer has come up with the latest, I would say, misinterpretation, and that is given rise to all these problems. So now this issue has arisen because the Kerala High Court has passed a decision in writ petition number 7945 of 2018, dated 2nd day of June 2020. Now, in this petition, the Citizens Legal Right Association of Kerala challenged the decision of the passport officer in Kerala to impose a fine on those who surrendered Indian passports beyond the limitation period of 3 months or whatever. Because what they were doing, even in Goa, if you surrender your passport after you have acquired, 3 months after you acquired a Portuguese nationality, they would impose a fine. Now, in this case, it was challenged. Now, the High Court has held that the passport officer has no powers to impose a fine. Now, it doesn't mean that you lose your citizenship. It only means the passport officer does not have the powers. Unfortunately, following this decision, the Ministry of External Affairs has issued a memorandum dated 30/11/2022 to all the passport officers in the country, wherein it has several clauses, but the passport officer in Goa seems to be acting under clause 2(4). Cases of the surrender certificate can be categorized as under it reads. A person who acquires the Indian passport in the capacity of Indian citizen and approaches near RPO, that is regional passport officer post after 0-3 years of acquisition of foreign nationality, he/she uses the Indian passport for travel after 3 months of grace period, then this is the consequence. In respect of the cases falling under category 2(5), that what I have read, the passports may be revoked by invoking section 10 of the Passports Act 1967, since the passport was obtained by suppressing material information about their having acquired foreign nationality. Follow?
Yes.
So what the passport officer does, passport officer says that Goans who have acquired Indian passport, despite the transcription of their births in Portugal, have violated the Indian law by obtaining Portuguese passport and refuses the Indian citizen in the Indian passport. But the fallacy lies, in the passport officer concluding that Goans who have transcribed their births have acquired Portuguese nationality. That is where the fallacy lies.
Yes.
Because what happens under the Indian law, under the Indian Citizenship Act, the decision to decide whether a person has lost Indian citizenship by registration outside the country or by transcription, by whatever process, has to be determined by the central government, not by the passport officer. Now he jumps the gun. He says you have registered there, therefore, or you have transcribed there, therefore your citizenship is lost. These powers are not vested in the passport officer.
No, but this circular of the
No,
Ministry
the circular does not tell him to revoke the passport. All that the passport officer has to do is, once it comes to his notice that this particular person, his birth is inscribed in Portugal, he has to refer the matter to the central government. I will read out the section. See, before making an order under this section, the central government shall give the person against whom the order is proposed to be made notice in writing, informing him of the ground on which it is proposed to be made. If the order is proposed to be made on any of the grounds specified in subsection 2 other than clause E thereof, of his right upon making application therefore in the prescribed manner to have his case referred to a committee of inquiry under this section. Followed?
Yes.
So government has constituted a committee where passport officer has to refer the matter, saying that, look here, Jovito has registered his birth in Portugal. Please see what can be done.
Yes.
The central government will then hold an inquiry through this committee. The committee will come to a finding whether your transcription of birth in Portugal constitutes giving up of Indian citizenship, and inform the passport officer. Then he can cancel your Indian passport. Now, this is what the passport officer is doing. Without the authority deciding that you have lost your Indian citizenship, he revokes your passport. This power is not vested in him under the Passport Act.
Yes.
He can at the most refer it to the central government.
So, and once it is referred, it is for the central government to take a decision.
There is a committee created by the central.
Yes.
That committee will issue notice to all aggrieved persons.
Yes.
They will be heard.
Yes.
Then they can argue, and if the committee is satisfied that you are entitled to continue to have your birth registered in Portugal and you don't lose your Indian citizenship, then I see no problem there.
So that means the committee can take an appropriate decision.
Yes, that is what the law provides.
And do you think so what the MP Tanawadi has taken up, the Savaikar also has taken up, and he says we will go and do through its logical conclusion. So there is a scope for that.
I think both of them are on the right footing.
Yes.
They have actually appear to have understood the issue.
Yes.
And I would expect the central government to take up the issue and pass appropriate orders. Now, the way I look at it, the central government, see the tendency today, whether of the government or of the courts, Supreme Court or High Court, is to be more nationalist than a rationalist. See, everything is moving in nationalist, everything is looked at it from the prism of nationalism. Followed?
Yes.
So, if the government takes the issue of it looks at it only from a purview of nationalism, I am pretty sure that they will not acknowledge what I have said, that we are, by operation of law, both Indian and Portuguese, citizens of both countries, as of now. But I do not expect the government to accept that submission. They will always come out with some roundabout interpretation to get out of it. But that is one aspect. Now, the second aspect is, even assuming that your birth transcription or registration in Portugal means you are a Portuguese national and therefore you lose your Indian citizenship, it would follow that you must be given sufficient time to obtain a Portuguese passport. Otherwise, what is happening? The passport officer revokes your passport. You are left here with no passport.
So you are stateless.
You are stateless, virtually stateless,
yes,
because you have no Portuguese passport, you have no Indian passport, and you are staying illegally in the country. So that sort of a situation is not visualized by law. Now, the second aspect of this procedure of the passport officer is he revokes our passport as against surrender. Now, under Articles 7A, B, C or all those sections of the Citizenship Act, wherein OCI was created, there is no provision which says if your citizenship is revoked, you are not eligible for OCI. So, I would go to the extent of saying even if your citizenship is revoked, you still come under the category of those eligible for OCIs, because you were born here, you were brought up here, and therefore you were a citizen of India. And OCI is available for all those who are eligible to be citizens of India or who are citizens of India. The revocation of his citizenship should not, in my opinion, deny you the OCI.
Yes.
And I do hope the government will look at it from this point of view, that even if you revoke my citizenship, I still give you the overseas citizenship of India.
Yeah.
That I think would sort out a major part of the issue.
And things would continue as they were.
As they were.
Yes.
Where where people continue to work abroad,
Yeah.
they come here as OCIs and they have the rights of OCIs.
Yeah.
You see, OCI is a sort of a second class citizenship created.
Yeah, because there's no dual nationality.
Yes, because it puts you on a second rung of citizenship. You are not given all the rights that citizens have, but nevertheless, it gives you so many rights.
Yes.
So it is something is better than nothing.
Yeah. But the problem is now about they claim that there are 3 lakhs now who have the billet or the assent, and they continue
No,
as
no.
Indian.
I think that is not exactly the way it is.
Okay.
See, most of these who have billet or they have already obtained Portuguese passports, surrendered Indian passports, and obtained OCIs. Most of them, out of these 3 lakhs, a huge majority are on OCIs, or they are eligible for OCIs.
But there are many who have not even obtained a Portuguese passport and they still continue here.
Exactly, this is the issue now.
Yes.
You see, those who have transcribed their births in Portugal,
Yeah.
they are caught on the wrong foot now because of this this action by the passport
Yeah.
officer.
Yeah.
See, most of these people got their births registered in Portugal. These are all elderly people.
Yeah. And for the benefit of their
For-
children.
Exactly, for their descendants
Yes.
to be able to work abroad. And I would personally think the government of India must welcome this, because it creates employment, it generates money. So much of money is sent here by people working out. I do not see why the government is so averse to it, because even otherwise, the government has taken up the issue with the United States of America, where they are now making it more difficult for Indians to come there as students and all, or to get that HB1 visa, whatever, work visa. Government of India wants Indians to go to America and has approached the US government to make it easier for coming there.
Same problem is now in,
No, but here there is here people are encouraged, the government of Portugal allows us to go there, but government seems to be obstructing.
Yeah.
See, in the case of America, they are taking up the issue.
But this came only after this High Court order from Kerala.
After misinterpretation of the High Court order. High Court order only says the passport officer has no power to impose a fine.
Yeah.
So it is like, if a court doesn't have the power to impose a fine, the court sentences you to death. That can't be, no, if you have no power to fine, you have no power to impose death sentence also. The passport officer hangs you, man.
Because till then, things were going smoothly. There were no problems for anybody.
Correct. He may even revoke the passport if he feels it is so.
Yeah.
But give them OCI. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
See, you don't keep our people without passports.
Yes.
They need a passport, particularly if he has lost their citizenship, no?
Yeah. Now, this problem arose right from the beginning with the Kaitus case. Then you had the
Glenn
case.
Ticklow, so many were there.
Yeah. So all of them continued to be Indians.
Continue to be Indians, continue to be MLAs.
Yes. So and now also they will have to protect.
I see whether they will have to is a political decision.
Yes.
Whether they are is a matter of interpretation. Now, according to me, they are protected. Follow, but the government does not seem to appreciate that, because the governments have their own way of doing things. They have this thing in their heads that if you obtain foreign citizenship and you may retain Indian citizenship, you become Indian national. But these are outdated views. Today, where what we call a global village, and where India there is said Vasundeva Kutumbakam or something
Yes,
there,
yes.
where we say
The
all the world is one. Why are they refusing something when the world accepts us? You see, when we get a foreign nationality, by the countries willingly give us, let us follow that Vasudeva Kutumbakam and let us take advantage of that, man.
So actually, virtually it was being done through OCI now.
Yeah, it was being done.
It was being done.
And it suited the purpose.
So what is there to continue?
I wouldn't know that, no. I mean, see, as I have said, I would still think we are eligible for both, but let us leave that apart. You give us OCI, give these people who have been deprived of their, where passports have been revoked, give them OCI, the issue is sorted out. And I am pretty sure that in a few years' time, dual nationality will come. I am quite, you see we started with PIO,
Person of Indian origin.
which was a little less this than OCI.
Yeah.
Then we have graduated to OCI, and the next step would be full-fledged dual citizenship. Probably if the Congress was in power, it would have come. With the fundamentalist government, they think differently.
But I feel that the present government in Goa, and they say that the chief minister is going to be briefed, and they are very confident and hopeful that this problem will be sorted out. So not that they are totally...
No, I am not talking of Goa government, I am talking of the central government.
No,
see,
but
there is nothing that the Goa government can do except represent to the center.
Yes.
Because these are not within the purview of the local government. And it does appear that the local MLA, Thanawade, as also NRI Commissioner, Narendra Savekar, they have both taken up the issue.
Yeah. And both of them said that this issue will be solved.
I expect that. I expect that OCI will come even if your passport is revoked.
Yes.
I expect that, because finally governments have to be pragmatic. You may not like particular sections of the people for particular reasons, but economic advancement and all other things require that you have to be pragmatic, and I think pragmatism will prevail over fundamentalism.
But this problem is basically of Goa.
Yes, Goa, Daman and Diu.
Goa, Daman and Diu, because there are many Gujaratis also from Daman and Diu who also have done the same procedure.
Yes,
same procedure.
Very much.
Now, Pondicherry, if you know, also was a colony from the French.
Yeah.
I do not know whether they have a similar...
What happened is, Pondicherry, the French signed a treaty with the government of India.
Okay.
And the treaty encompasses certain rights for those who are French nationals. Like they have right to stay here, live here. I think it is more or less equal to OCI.
Yeah, because some of them, they said, we have also French passports.
No, they have French passport, they vote in France.
Yes.
But they don't vote here.
Yeah.
So it is more or less like OCI, as I say.
Okay.
They are allowed to live here, but they vote in France. There was that treaty was signed, where Goa did not become part of India by treaty.
No.
According to the Supreme Court,
yeah,
Goa became part of India by annexation.
Yes.
In the decision of Father Sheikh Montero.
Yes.
That is what it says. So in view of this fact, and the fact that the Portuguese did not recognize the annexation until Mar Suarez signed a treaty in 1974 also.
Yeah, only in 74 it was ratified.
Yes.
And they said it is not
no, they have acknowledged that Goa is part of India.
Annexation.
They have said Goa is part of India.
Yes.
So that
in 1974.
So there, on that issue now there is no further question remaining.
Yes.
But in doing so, that is the point of time the government of India must have sorted out the citizenship issue, because the Portuguese still recognize us as citizens, So therefore, the difference is that if one country recognizes me as their citizen, what can I do about it? Can I stop them from calling me their citizen? Unless the government of India takes up the issue and makes it cancelled, gets it to cancelled. Someone else says, I am their citizen. That's it, they say so. And I take advantage of that. That is what Goans are doing.
Yes, they have, because mostly for employment of the children. The elderly, because they were born before 61, they said this is a facility for us. The benefits are not for us actually, the benefits are for the future generation of Goans.
Yes. And people are earning, working abroad, and you come to our villages. The money is showing, what money that people earn there is translating into good living in Goa. I can see in all our villages, people are living well. They are building houses, they have so many cars, they are making investments. All because they were abroad. That is why there is less unemployment problem in Goa.
Because all these people who have migrated, they migrated mostly because they were not getting jobs.
Almost all migrated because they were not getting jobs. I will give one example. You see, to my utter shock, Pratap Singh Rane, the Chief Minister of Goa, for so many years, and an MLA from Satari for 50 years, he made a statement on the floor of the house where he said, Goans are cleaning toilets in Heathrow Airport. This was completely unbecoming of a Chief Minister. If Goans are doing that, it shows your failure. According to me, you are the Chief Minister, people are forced to go abroad to do work because you could not provide them jobs here. But that apart, more recently I spent some time at the GMC hospital where my wife was admitted. And I pointedly saw and asked every person coming there. You see, we were in a room, private room. all the cleaning staff there, they were sweeping the floor, cleaning the toilets. They were there. So I pointedly asked them, Baba, where are you from? Kunso. Ami Sankariche, Satariche, they all mentioned their names. And all of them came from Sakri and Satari. And they were doing the same, they are doing the same work in GMC hospital of cleaning toilet as some Goans may be doing at Heathrow Airport.
Heathrow.
Yes. And these are people from the Chief Minister's Rane's constituency. They are cleaning toilets in Goa. Did you not see them? Did you have to go to Heathrow Airport to see Goans cleaning toilets? This is completely unfair, man. It shows what sort of man he is. You understand what I'm saying? If his own people from his constituency, where he has ruled for 50 years as MLA, are cleaning toilets in Goa. Why could you not give them education and make them better, do the work other than cleaning toilets? You can go and see there. So this is the sort of government we have. We have a chief minister who makes his own people clean toilets and then goes and protests about Goans cleaning toilets in Heathrow. This is gross stupidity on the part of
basically the youth that they have left. For example, you take Sridown, you take Goa Valley, you take Agasai, then go down Kortali,
everywhere.
Yeah. And all these places. Most of the youth today are working in England.
They are working in England, and one thing they are doing is they are doing honest, hard work. There may be exceptions here and there, but 99% of Goans who work there, they work hard, they work honest. You see, there is something about Goans which is not available elsewhere in India. Historically, even earlier, Goans used to go to Bombay in large numbers during British era. You will never find a Goan living in a slum in Bombay, never. Because Goans were organized people. They would hire out large, what you call clubs or koods, and there they would make a social arrangement where they would leave, go for work, come. We all know, we still have those clubs there. Same thing is followed in UK. I know Goans, so many from my village, they hire out, let us say, flats. They may be living there in cramped quarters, but they live reasonably well. They do not go and put up slums, and they work and they send their money here, and their children are educated. That helps them educate their children and give them better lives.
So
that is why people are going.
The objective of getting this Portuguese billet or ascent in order to help their children is absolutely
fair, man.
Fair.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yes.
It's an opportunity where Goans are grabbing, and if this opportunity were available to all Indians would end up in Britain, because so many are going illegally. We know so many are going. So many have died in Mexico, Canada, trying to cross illegally into America. At least Goans have by the grace of God an opportunity to go and settle lawfully in Europe. Government is instead of
and Indians, well qualified Indians, are going to United States of America.
They are going everywhere, and the government is doing nothing about that.
So there has to be a solution, and it has to be a fair, equitable solution to the welfare of Goans.
It is to be the welfare of people of this country. You see, whether Goans or whoever they are, if the benefits accrue to us, to the country, by way of foreign exchange, by way of educational benefits, then government must encourage people to, not discourage. My way of looking at it is, government ought to have even had a scheme where it would help people go and get employed there. But instead they are putting obstacles.
Yeah, but then you'll be also knowing better what happened ultimately in the cases of these politicians who were taken even to the court.
See, they were taken even to the court. The matter was referred to the inquiry committee, as I have read under that section of the Citizenship Act. And then, as we know, as it happens in India, the thing just languished there. No one bothered. It was referred to the inquiry committee. By that time, the term of the MLAs got over. Those who had lodged the complaint lost interest. And the matter is languishing there, I would think, for a final decision by the inquiry committee.
So, even in those cases, there has not been a final decision?
No, not by the inquiry committee.
So, the status quo?
Until then, the status quo was, if you inscribe your birth or transcribe your birth in Portugal,
yes,
you continue to be an Indian citizen. That was the status quo.
Yeah.
Now the status quo is changed.
Yeah, because of this order from the High Court in Kerala.
Because of misinterpretation of that order.
Okay.
That order doesn't say anywhere that you have revoke the passport.
Okay.
There's nothing of that sort in that order. The order is here.
Yeah.
The passport officers and whoever are the minions of the government, central government, appear to have misinterpreted that order.
So ultimately you need a political push or political willpower to untangle this whole situation created in Goa.
I think it could be easily done, one, by the courts, by the court if the court interprets it properly, or by the government by merely issuing another circular saying that those who are merely registered there, let them lie and matter is over.
Yes.
They could say that after they obtain their billet or their passport, give them time also. You see, even if you are in Portugal and you obtain an Indian passport, Portuguese passport, you must be given, say, at least 6 months to surrender the Indian passport. And if they do not do that, then punitive action should follow. You can't simply knock people off the pedestal just like that.
Yes. So there is a way out according to you.
There is a political way out and there is a judicial way out.
Yes.
Judicial would be someone has to challenge it before the court and the court will have to interpret the law.
But the easiest would be the political will,
Because
more so because you have got both the governments in Goa as well as at the center.
And the
It's a double engine sarkar.
problem is created by the government by issuing this memorandum now. This where the passport officer seems to misinterpret it and act on this memorandum dated 30th November 2022.
So an addendum to this would clarify the entire situation.
That is what I think Narendra Savekar and Rajya Sabha MP Thanawade have sought, at least not in so many words, at least in intent.
Yeah, because the very fact they have taken up the matter, he took it up at the Rajya Sabha and both of them said, yes, we are aware, we want to help, and I think a good solution will come out politically.
Yeah, it would be if we have political, see, these are political problems created by politicians. So they could be solved easily by politicians.
And the best part to help in this whole scenario, there is also a ruling politician now going through this whole rigmarole.
That is what they say. That is what is being said.
Yeah.
That
so all the more why a solution should come pretty fast politically.
No. You see, if you know, there are wheels within wheels looking at politics. The political party to which this politician belongs may feel, let him go. You understand what I'm saying?
I know,
see,
I know.
Why do you want him? Let him go as he has come.
No, but then it will affect because of one individual. See, all this time now.
Irrespective of affecting him,
yes,
it will affect all of us.
Yes,
all of those.
Yes.
But
and what we have seen from the past, that such situations have been walked through, and there has been no problems for the people
so far
because of one politician.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody has benefited. Yeah, and Goa is actually benefiting from the youngsters going abroad.
That there is no doubt at all. You see, somehow, you know, Jovito, there is a misconception that it is only Catholics who go out. That is a misconception.
No, it's not correct.
No.
Maybe a large number.
No, it is. See what happens. The Catholics are always ahead of the non-Catholics in Goa, in the sense that they adapt to new ideas much quicker than others. You understand? So now, for instance, we gave up the dhoti centuries ago and the sari. Now, how many people do you find wearing dhoti here? The sari is disappearing. So those who are wearing that, they have taken little more time to realize that a trouser shirt or a dress or a skirt blouse is functionally superior to what they were wearing. So they have given up. The same thing is now, I have noticed, is happening with the Hindus in Goa as regards Portuguese passport. Catholics, you know, we had no qualms about travelling out. Historically, our people have worked in East Africa, they have worked in Burma, they have worked in West Asia, all these Gulf countries. So going out and settling abroad was nothing new to the Catholics. The Hindus, by very nature, were a bit averse to travelling out. But in Goa, because of the foreign influences, people are now becoming broad-minded. And I know a lot of Hindus now who are making Portuguese, whom some people have come to me for obtaining their certificates and all, whom I have helped professionally. So now in the second generation, the Hindus are moving out.
Yeah, and there are many Hindus who have opted to be in England through the Portuguese passport.
I have been consulted after this issue arose by at least half a dozen Hindus who have already got Portuguese registration.
Yes.
They are afraid of things going wrong for them.
Yes.
So it is not that it is only Catholics who are going. The Hindus are going now. There is another reason also. You see, until recently, the Hindu in Goa was very happy because they felt that they are the ones who wanted to merge Goa with Maharashtra. All this was happening. And things were going well for them because they were the majority. They were getting most of the government jobs. They were beneficiaries. Now it is happening. You have now noticed that there are problems in Penne. They are objecting to outsiders coming there. Penne.
Yes.
Massive agitation.
Yes.
Now this was what was happening in Salsette earlier. We objected to outsiders coming. We were getting overwhelmed. And you know, Ramakant Khalap would refer to me because I would defend it as Republic of Salsette. He would call me Republic of Salsette because I was representing that. Yeah. And the other day he put up some post and I replied back to him. Now Perne is becoming Janamdar or is ceasing to be a Janamdar, and they are now affected by outsiders coming and flocking their place, and they are doing the same thing that Salsette was doing earlier. So I said, see, the chicken are now coming home to roost. When we were fighting out, you all opposed us. Now you are having the same problem. This happens by little, the Goans are being finished.
Yes.
And that is why the Hindu who were earlier well satisfied with what was going on are now making Portuguese passports, and they will find themselves in the same position as the Catholics.
Also,
no, this is what the BJP has to realize, that it is not just the Catholics that are losing out.
And what about all those from Gujarat? There are so many of them.
But they are going through frauds.
Yes.
I mean, they are showing that they are Goans or Damanis.
Yeah.
We aren't doing any fraud.
No.
Goans are going.
Also, of late, Dr. Radharao, there are Goans now who are employed, maybe even in the ships and all that. Now, if you are an Indian, you get your money. But if you are a foreigner,
you get higher pay.
You get much higher.
Better
so
pay.
Also now Goans have realized that if I get a Portuguese passport, and for them to get it only through their father or grandfather, that their status, financial status goes pretty high.
Yes.
So this is a benefit that.
No. This is, most people are least bothered about Portuguese nationality, man.
Yes.
They are only bothered about using it as a vehicle to get good employment. So that is why I have
to enhance their financial status. Ultimately, who doesn't work for raising the financial status?
And you see, the government of India is in various ways a beneficiary of Indians settling abroad, because many of them become powerful there, and that has a beneficial effect on India.
Yeah. Now the government is so happy that in England you have got Indians. Even your Prime Minister, they say he's an Indian. Now in America also, the Vice President says, and proudly they say we are Indians, but they are Americans.
But let me point
out, British.
Let me point out that the Prime Minister of England is not an Indian at all. By our definition of OCI, see, an Indian is someone who settled abroad. An Indian is he who is eligible for an OCI. Rishi Sunak is a Pakistani. His grandfather was born in Gujranwala in present-day Pakistan. His parents were born in Kenya, and he was born in UK. Therefore, he is eligible for a Pakistani OCP, overseas citizen, not eligible for an Indian OCI. Therefore, it is a mischief to call Rishi Sunak a Indian. He is no Indian. He is Pakistani.
Yeah.
Because that when he was born, Gujranwala was not part of India, and after partition, all that is Pakistan. They are not eligible for Indian citizenship.
But then there is a Vice President of the United States of America, that lady.
Yes, that lady. Why, Vivek Ramaswamy, who is a contender for the Republican, is an Indian.
Yes.
No dispute on that count.
Yes.
But now likewise, in UK, there are 3 Goan MPs, all ladies, right now.
Yeah.
There is Suella Fernandes, who was a minister. There is Claire Coutinho, who is a minister. And there is Valerie Vaz.
Yeah.
In Australia, you have Zenat Mascarenhas.
Yeah.
So there are Goans, wherever they have gone, they have prospered. They have contributed to those countries. And by reflection, we also look upon this. It is pride for us.
It is pride.
Yes.
Yeah. For all Indians, it is.
Now, Ireland Prime Minister was Leo Varadkar from Ratnagiri.
Yeah.
So Indians who go out, come up, rise up, and that helps us out. This Anton Costa is Prime Minister of Portugal. So therefore, our people go out and they prosper, they do well. And that also gives us this, that our community is doing well wherever we go.
Yes. So I think, Advocate Radharao, what we need is a revised circular to make it a short, uncomplicated matter from the Minister of External Affairs, so that this problem is sorted out. And you need little more extra vigorous political power, especially from Goa. Maybe with the intervention of Chief Minister also, since Thanawade is already there, Savaikar is there, and now if Dr. Pramod Sawant also pushes a little further, I think one small circular, revised version of what has been said can,
sort the issue out.
Sort out this issue once and forever.
Once and for all. Yeah.
Do you also feel of that?
Yes, very much. And it does appear that the government is seized with the matter.
Yes, that is a good thing.
That's a good thing. And if they mean what they say,
yes,
then I think
they have been proactive. I must say that they have been very proactive, and this is to be admired from their front.
Yes, the only hurdle could be, see, it is a double engine government. If somewhere along the way lights are cut off, the engine may be stuck on the tracks. If power is cut off, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen.
It will not
I hope
happen.
Both engines will work,
yes,
and we'll have permanent power supply.
Yes.
So that the passengers reach where they are going.
Yeah, because 2024 must bring us a new message of hope, faith and love, as what we say, so that everybody says, yes, we are one and we are for Goans. And please go ahead. Thank you, Advocate Radharao, for being with us and giving us your feedback, and your thought process is absolutely fantastic, I must say. I always admire the logic and the reasoning that you put forward, always with a legal background in mind. Thank you very much.
Yeah.